Welcome to Voice Vocabulary. Today, we will learn English through a simple and inspiring story. This story is about the life of a delivery boy. Listen carefully, follow the subtitles, and improve your English with every sentence. Every morning, before the sun rises, the delivery driver wakes up early, stretches his arms, and prepares for another long day on the road. He takes a quick shower, brushes his teeth carefully, and gets dressed in his work uniform, which includes a bright yellow jacket for visibility. In the kitchen, he eats a light breakfast with toast, eggs, and a cup of hot tea, knowing he needs energy for the busy day ahead. After finishing his meal, he checks the delivery schedule on his phone, carefully reviewing the list of packages he needs to deliver. He grabs his helmet, puts on his gloves, and walks out of his small apartment with determination in his eyes. Outside, the streets are still quiet, and the city is slowly waking up, with a few early risers jogging or walking their dogs. He walks to the delivery van, unlocks it, and starts the engine, which roars to life with a low hum. He carefully places the packages in order inside the van, arranging them based on their delivery locations to save time. Once everything is set, he drives onto the empty streets, taking a deep breath and enjoying the peaceful morning air. As he drives, he sees the sky change color from dark blue to light orange, signaling the start of a new day. His first stop is a bakery, where he delivers a package of baking tools that the owner ordered online. The smell of fresh bread and pastries fills the air, making him smile and feel thankful for simple pleasures. The bakery owner greets him warmly, signs the receipt, and offers him a small croissant as a token of appreciation. He thanks her with a polite nod, accepts the treat, and walks back to his van, feeling a bit more energized. The next delivery is at a small bookstore where an elderly man is waiting for a box of rare novels from overseas. When the driver hands him the package, the old man's eyes light up with joy, and he thanks the driver sincerely. The driver feels proud, knowing that his job brings happiness to others in small but meaningful ways. The city traffic starts to pick up, and cars, buses, and bikes begin to fill the roads, making it harder to move quickly. He stays calm, keeps both hands on the wheel, and navigates carefully through narrow streets and crowded intersections. As he drives, he listens to calm music on the radio, which helps him stay focused and relaxed throughout the journey. At one point, he stops at a red light and watches a group of schoolchildren crossing the street with their teacher. The children wave at him cheerfully, and he waves back with a smile, remembering his own childhood days. His next stop is a tall apartment building where a woman is waiting for her online grocery order to arrive. She greets him with a friendly smile and helps him carry the heavy bags up the stairs to her second-floor apartment. The driver appreciates her kindness and reminds her to check the list to make sure nothing is missing. After confirming everything is there, she thanks him, and he returns to his van to continue his route. The day grows warmer, and the sun shines brightly, making the streets busier and the deliveries more challenging. At one address, he has to park far from the building because there's no space nearby, so he walks with a heavy box in hand. As he climbs the stairs of an old building without an elevator, sweat forms on his forehead, and his breath becomes heavier. When he finally reaches the top floor, the customer thanks him and offers a bottle of water to help him cool down. Grateful, he drinks the water slowly and enjoys a moment of rest before heading back to his van. On the way back, he notices a stray dog sitting near the sidewalk, looking tired and hungry. He opens his lunchbox, breaks a piece of bread, and gently places it near the dog, who wags its tail happily. The driver smiles softly, feeling a sense of connection with the animal, both of them working hard to survive. After a few more deliveries, it's noon, and he parks the van under a tree to take a short lunch break. He eats his homemade lunch of rice and vegetables, sips cool water, and stretches his legs outside the vehicle. A few other delivery drivers are also parked nearby, and they wave to each other, sharing a silent understanding of their shared life. One of them walks over, and they chat for a few minutes about routes, customers, and the best places to park in the city. The break ends quickly, and it's time to get back to work, with many more deliveries waiting on his list. In the afternoon, he visits a hospital to deliver medical supplies that are urgently needed by the staff. The hospital staff thanks him quickly and rushes off with the supplies, showing how important every delivery can be. As the sun begins to move lower in the sky, he hurries to finish the remaining deliveries before sunset. The traffic becomes more intense, and the streets are crowded with people finishing their workday. He remains patient, follows all the traffic rules, and ensures that each package is delivered safely and correctly. At one apartment, a child opens the door and excitedly accepts the new toy he has been waiting for all week. The driver laughs softly at the child's joy, knowing that moments like this make his job more rewarding. He continues to work until the last package is delivered, and finally, he heads back to the company warehouse. There, he returns the empty boxes, reports the successful deliveries, and hands in the paperwork. His supervisor nods in approval, thanks him for his hard work, and reminds him to rest well before tomorrow. With the day's work done, he gets back into his van and drives slowly toward home, feeling tired but content. On the way home, the streets are glowing with lights from shops, vehicles, and street lamps, creating a warm evening atmosphere. He rolls down the window slightly, allowing the cool evening breeze to calm his tired mind. As he waits at a traffic signal, he watches people laughing, shopping, and walking together, enjoying their evening time. It reminds him that while his job is hard, he plays an important part in helping the city run smoothly. When he reaches his neighborhood, he finds a parking spot near his apartment and switches off the engine with relief. He steps out of the van, takes a deep breath, and stretches his back, which has grown sore from a full day of driving. He enters his apartment, takes off his shoes, and heads straight to the bathroom for a refreshing shower. The warm water washes away the dust and tiredness, giving him a new burst of comfort and peace. After drying off, he puts on clean clothes and heads to the kitchen to prepare his dinner. He chops vegetables carefully, boils some rice, and makes a simple curry with the limited spices he has. As the food cooks, he checks his messages and responds to a few from his family and friends. His younger sister sends a picture of their parents from their village, which makes him smile with love. He misses his family deeply but knows that working in the city is necessary to support them financially. After dinner, he washes the dishes, wipes the table clean, and sits on the sofa with a tired sigh. He turns on the TV, watches a news report about city traffic, and laughs quietly because he knows it too well. Later, he opens a book he borrowed from the bookstore and reads a few pages to relax his mind. The story is about a man who travels the world delivering letters, which feels strangely familiar. As sleep starts to take over, he places the book aside, switches off the light, and lies down on his bed. He closes his eyes, grateful for the roof over his head, the food on his plate, and the job that keeps him going. The city outside continues to buzz, but inside his room, there is calm, silence, and the soft sound of his breathing. The next morning comes quickly, and once again, he rises early, ready to face another busy day with strength. This time, the weather is cloudy, and a light drizzle falls as he starts preparing for his work. He wears a raincoat, takes an umbrella, and heads to the van, knowing rainy days make deliveries even harder. On the slippery roads, he drives slowly, carefully avoiding potholes and puddles to stay safe. He delivers a package to a house where a mother is calming her crying baby and is thankful for the fast delivery. In another location, he delivers a birthday gift ordered by a father for his daughter, bringing smiles to the family. Every stop he makes shows him how much people rely on deliveries for important parts of their lives. Despite the rain, he stays focused, wiping his wet hands and carefully handling each package with care. At noon, the rain stops, and sunlight breaks through the clouds, bringing a gentle warmth to the streets. He feels a sense of joy in small victories, like avoiding traffic jams and completing deliveries on time. He stops at a tea stall and orders a hot cup of masala tea, enjoying a short break under the shade. The stall owner knows him by name and asks how his day is going, showing the kindness of daily connection. After finishing the tea, he waves goodbye and resumes his work with fresh energy and a determined heart. On one street, he helps an old lady carry her parcel inside her home, and she blesses him warmly in return. At another stop, he waits patiently for the customer to arrive, watching the busy life of the neighborhood around him. Children play with a soccer ball, shopkeepers shout offers, and life moves forward like a river of stories. As he finishes the last delivery for the afternoon, he feels satisfied knowing everything was done properly. He checks his delivery list and realizes that he has a little extra time before the next scheduled delivery. He decides to visit a nearby park where he sits on a bench, watching people relax and enjoy nature. A soft breeze blows through the trees, and the sound of birds chirping calms his thoughts for a while. A little boy sitting next to him asks what he does, and he explains his job with a gentle smile. The boy says he wants to be a driver one day too, which makes the man laugh and feel unexpectedly proud. Back in the van, he resumes his journey with a feeling of hope, knowing that even small jobs can inspire others. He stops at a high-rise office to deliver important documents that are urgently needed by a company executive. The receptionist thanks him and says the documents will help close a major business deal that day. He feels happy to play even a small part in something important happening behind those glass doors. Later, he visits a school to deliver art supplies, and the teacher thanks him, saying the children were waiting eagerly. On the way out, a group of students waves and shouts, "Thank you," filling his heart with pure joy. He drives through narrow lanes, wide highways, crowded markets, and peaceful residential areas, all in one day. His job takes him everywhere, and every road tells a different story. Every address hides a new face. As the sun begins to set again, painting the sky with orange and pink shades, he feels the day slowly coming to a close. He makes one final stop at a flower shop, delivering fresh vases ordered for a wedding happening later that night. The florist thanks him warmly and shows him the beautiful decorations being prepared inside the shop. He smiles, knowing that behind every delivery, there is a story, a purpose, and a moment being made possible. With all the packages delivered, he checks his logbook, marks the last task as complete, and leans back in his seat. A deep breath escapes his lips as he looks out the window, watching people hurry home, just as he is about to do. On the way back to the warehouse, he listens to soft instrumental music, allowing his mind to slow down and relax. The tall buildings slowly pass by, the city lights start to glow, and the air cools as evening turns to night. At the warehouse, he parks the van in its usual spot, steps down slowly, and begins unloading the few empty boxes left. His supervisor gives him a thumbs up, telling him he handled today's work very efficiently and professionally. He signs off his duty sheet, hangs his ID card on the hook, and gives a small nod of thanks before walking out. Walking back home, he passes familiar shops, street vendors, and the security guard who always smiles at him. He picks up a few groceries from a small store and carries them in a paper bag, whistling a soft tune on the way. At home, he changes into his comfortable clothes and sits on the balcony, watching the stars slowly appear in the sky. He eats dinner while watching a comedy show, laughing quietly and letting the stress of the day melt away. After dinner, he writes in his small diary about a kind customer he met today and the boy in the park. He enjoys keeping track of small, beautiful moments that happen each day, no matter how tiring the work is. Before going to sleep, he sends a voice message to his mother, asking about her health and wishing her good night. His mother replies lovingly, reminding him to take care of himself and to eat on time. With a full heart and a tired body, he turns off the lights, closes his eyes, and falls into deep, peaceful sleep. Each day of his life may seem ordinary, but he knows every day brings new faces, new stories, and silent victories. Some people see him as just a delivery driver, but he knows he is much more than that in the eyes of many. He is a bridge between people and their needs, between emotions and gifts, between urgency and relief. Though his work is tiring and often unnoticed, it is honest, valuable, and deeply appreciated by those he serves. He remembers a time when he had no job, no direction, and was unsure of his place in the world. But this job, with all its challenges, gave him a purpose and helped him build discipline and strength. Sometimes he wonders what it would be like to start his own small delivery company someday. He dreams of buying a few vans, hiring young drivers like himself, and creating a service built on respect and care. Even though he doesn't have much money saved, his hope and hard work are his biggest assets. He reminds himself daily that success doesn't always come overnight. It comes slowly, step by step, like his deliveries. He once delivered a job offer letter to a young woman, who later messaged the company to say the driver brought her hope. He still remembers that message and keeps a screenshot of it in his phone for days when he feels low. His friends tease him for working so hard, but deep down they admire his consistency and dedication. He teaches his younger cousin how to ride a scooter on weekends and tells him to always value work, no matter what kind. His cousin once asked why he works so many hours, and he replied, "Because every effort I make today shapes my tomorrow." That line stayed with his cousin, who wrote it in his notebook as a reminder. The driver doesn't speak much, but his actions speak louder than words. Through kindness, through effort, through reliability. Even in rainy weather, heavy traffic, or with back pain, he shows up, because someone is always waiting for him. He has built a quiet reputation among customers, not because of speed alone, but because of his manners and honesty. One time, a customer dropped a gold ring while signing for a package, and the driver returned it the next day without hesitation. That act earned him a loyal client who now always requests him by name for her deliveries. Small choices like that make him who he is, a person who chooses what's right, even when no one is watching. He never shouts, never complains loudly. Instead, he solves problems silently and moves on with grace. He knows how to handle angry customers, difficult addresses, and faulty GPS systems, with calm and creativity. Once, he couldn't find a location, but instead of giving up, he asked a tea vendor nearby and got the exact directions. That delivery was late by 15 minutes, but the customer appreciated the effort and left him a kind review. He doesn't seek praise or applause, but when it comes, it reminds him that people do notice good work. His work uniform may be simple, but it carries the respect of someone who helps things run behind the scenes. Whether it's a festival day, a weekend, or even a hot summer afternoon, he keeps going, mile after mile. His hands have calluses from lifting boxes, and his feet are often sore, but his heart remains warm and hopeful. He believes that hard work never goes to waste, even if it takes time for the results to appear. Every morning, when he puts on his shoes and grabs his keys, he knows he is stepping into responsibility. He is not just delivering parcels, he is delivering moments, surprises, and support to people's lives. Some packages contain medicines, some have gifts, and others carry tools that people need urgently. He treats each one with equal care, knowing he may never fully understand their importance. One winter evening, he delivered a blanket to an old man who had no heater at home. That man thanked him with teary eyes and offered him a warm cup of tea for his kindness. On another day, he rushed across town to deliver a birthday cake just in time for a little girl's party. The family clapped for him, and the girl gave him a balloon as a thank you gift, which he still has. Moments like these keep him going, even when his body is tired or the weather is unkind. He's learned that doing a small job well can make a big difference in someone's day. While others may chase fame or luxury, he finds meaning in service, in honesty, and in dignity. When he speaks to his family, he tells them not to worry, that he is safe and doing meaningful work. His father once told him, "A man's true worth lies in his ability to do good for others, even silently." He carries those words in his heart and lives by them through every delivery, every gesture. Some days are tough. Deliveries get delayed, traffic becomes unbearable, or someone scolds him unfairly. But he reminds himself not to take it personally, because stress often speaks louder than people's real intentions. He forgives quickly, smiles easily, and always returns to work with a steady mind. His coworkers respect him for his reliability, and some even come to him for advice on handling difficult situations. He listens patiently, shares what he knows, and encourages others to stay positive and kind. His favorite time of day is early morning, when the city is quiet, and the streets feel peaceful and full of promise. He enjoys those moments before the rush begins, where he can think, breathe, and feel thankful. He once wrote a letter to himself, saying, "No matter where life takes you, never lose your patience or your smile." He keeps that letter folded in his wallet, like a quiet reminder of who he is and what he stands for. Every weekend he tries to call home, talk to his siblings, and send money to help his parents. He doesn't have a lot to spare, but he gives what he can because family is everything to him. His mother often prays for him, lighting incense and asking God to keep her son healthy and happy. He feels those prayers in his quiet victories, in moments when things go right even when he expected failure. One time, he delivered food to a hospital, and the nurse told him he was saving lives in his own way. That statement touched him deeply, and he walked out of the hospital with tears he didn't expect. People often forget to thank workers like him, but when they do, it fills him with new energy. The city sees thousands of drivers each day, but he believes every one of them has a unique story. His story is one of growth, of small sacrifices, of quiet service to a world always in motion. Even when he is alone on a silent road at night, he never feels lonely, because he is part of something bigger. His job connects lives, crosses distances, and brings people closer without them even realizing it. He may not wear a suit, but his role is no less important than the professionals inside those buildings. Whether he delivers a legal file, a wedding invitation, or a simple grocery order, he gives it his full attention. He dreams of the day when he can buy his parents a house in the city, close to where he works. He imagines coming home to them, sharing meals and watching TV together after a long day. That dream keeps him moving, even on days when the rain soaks through his jacket and the cold stings his fingers. He believes that no job is too small when done with respect, and no person is too ordinary to matter. The city may forget faces quickly, but it remembers kindness, and he chooses to be kind every day. One evening, a child drew a picture of him in the delivery van and gave it to him as a gift. That picture now hangs in his room, reminding him that someone saw and appreciated his work. He doesn't need awards or certificates. These small tokens of appreciation mean more than anything else. Sometimes, he wishes people would smile more when receiving their deliveries, or say a quick, "Thank you." Those little gestures may seem small, but they can brighten a worker's entire day. He teaches this to the new trainees who join the company, telling them to treat every package with care. His manager once said, "If we had more workers like you, this company would be unstoppable." Though he stayed humble, that compliment stayed with him for weeks, making every mile feel lighter. He has learned to navigate not just roads, but emotions, expectations, and time itself. In doing so, he has become more than a delivery driver. He has become a lifeline for many. When he looks back at his journey, he feels proud, not because it was easy, but because he never gave up. The engine of his van may rest at night, but his dreams continue to move forward. One day, he wants to write a book about his experiences. Stories from the road, stories of the heart. He believes that even the most ordinary jobs can carry extraordinary meaning. His story may not be shown in newspapers or films, but it lives quietly in the hearts of those he helps. He sees himself in the mirror each night, tired but strong, simple but proud, quiet but full of purpose. And every morning, when the alarm rings and the world stirs to life, he wakes with the same determination, to do his work honestly, to touch lives silently, and to keep walking his path, one step at a time. No matter how fast the world spins, he finds his rhythm and flows with it. Even when it feels like no one is watching, he still chooses to give his best. He understands that greatness isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers through consistency. The city may never know his name, but his impact travels quietly through streets, doors, and lives. And that, he knows, is more than enough for one man's legacy. When he finally retires someday, he wants to look back with no regrets, only gratitude. For every road driven, every parcel delivered, every smile received. His hands will grow old, but the stories he carries will remain fresh forever. Because in the end, what matters is not just what we do, but how we make others feel. And this man, through his quiet job and honest efforts, has made the world feel a little closer, a little kinder. He hopes more people will notice the workers who serve silently and respect their time and effort. Even one kind word can change a tired day into a joyful one. He has learned that life is not only about money or success, but about connection and humanity. Whether it's a handshake, a thank you, or a nod of respect, every gesture matters. His simple lifestyle gives him peace. No big possessions, just big dreams. He doesn't crave luxury. He craves dignity and a future he can build with patience. Sometimes he looks at the city skyline and whispers, "One day I'll make something of my own here." That hope keeps him steady even on long, silent nights. He knows every big tree starts from a small seed, and he is still planting his. No job, no effort, no kindness is ever wasted. He may not have college degrees or fancy certificates, but he holds something just as powerful: determination. That, he knows, is what truly builds character and changes lives. His journey may not be glamorous, but it is deeply meaningful. And that meaning is what helps him rise, drive, deliver, and repeat. He wakes up again tomorrow, not because he must, but because he chooses to serve. In a world that often moves too fast, he reminds us to slow down and notice the little things. A smile, a kind word, a thank you, a package. All of it matters. All of it connects us. And every day, this quiet hero makes sure those connections are never broken. He doesn't wear a cape, but he wears a uniform with pride. He doesn't fly, but he navigates busy roads like a master. He doesn't save cities, but he saves moments that matter to real people. His story may never be shouted from rooftops, but it is written in daily acts of grace. Through heat, cold, rain, or fatigue, he carries on, because people are counting on him, and he has never let them down. He knows his name may not be famous, but his work touches hundreds of lives every week. Quietly, humbly, reliably. That is the mark of a true everyday hero. So when you receive your next package, remember, someone gave their day to bring it to your door. Someone who wakes up early, works with care, and drives miles just for you. Someone who may never hear your thanks, but still does the job with a full heart. That someone is this man. This simple man with a strong heart, steady hands, and a silent smile. His story reminds us that service is not a low thing. It is a noble thing. And when done with honesty, it becomes a gift to the world. He walks down roads not to escape life, but to deliver a part of it. Every box he carries is filled with more than goods. It carries trust. And he never breaks that trust. His life is a journey of many miles and quiet achievements. A journey not on stage, but in the streets. Not with applause, but with real impact. One step, one road, one delivery at a time. He has learned the true meaning of service, not to be seen, but to be felt. He has become not just a worker, but a witness to human life. And in doing so, he has become rich in something deeper than money. He is rich in purpose, in honesty, in quiet pride. And that is something no one can ever take away. As he sleeps, the city breathes, and people rest, unaware that their tomorrow is already being prepared. Because somewhere, he is getting ready for another day. A day full of hope, full of work, full of meaning, just like today, just like yesterday, and just like every day before. He is not just a delivery man. He is a silent part of people's lives. He is proof that good work always matters. That dedication is its own reward. And that kindness, though quiet, echoes the loudest. His job may end at night, but his story continues. With every sunrise, with every mile, with every smile. This is his life. This is his story. And it is worth telling. Again. And again. Because heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes they wear dust-covered shirts and ride through traffic with a purpose, delivering more than just boxes, delivering hope, delivering life, delivering humanity, one package at a time. Thank you for listening to this story on Voice Vocabulary. We hope you learned new words and improved your English today. Remember, small efforts every day lead to big progress. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back soon with another English learning story just for you. Keep learning, keep growing. See you in the next video.